If you're tired to give away your money to some scammers where this goes up like this and then suddenly it drops to zero, because yes, a scammer, people like me, we need to be able to pay our business class flight. And that's by using people who don't know all the tools on how to find those scam coins and will fall into them. Because after all, everything is on the blockchain. It's just up to the users to read or not what's happening. I actually got the question on my last video where Isabella was asking me how to choose between all the tokens when we do a research. So that's the first point we will see in this video. Second thing is the best tool to analyze what is going on with the token, what are the scammy things, what you need to be careful of. And the third thing is I will show you how to be able, just by seeing on the graph, if it's a scam or not. You will see that actually finding the right token is pretty easy. When I type, for example, Pepe, I have tons of crypto that arrive. So I need to know first on which chain I am trading. If it's on Solana, then I will check only the one that have the logo Solana, because Pepe is also on Ethereum, on Base chain, on pretty much every chain. But still, on Solana, I see 1 Pepe, 2 Pepe, 4 Pepe, 5 Pepe. So which one should I trade? That's where it becomes important. By the way, welcome on Handsome Finance, where we study what's happening on chain because the blockchain is an open ledger, so we can see all the transactions. Who made money, who lost money, follow the smart money and make even more money, and avoid to give it to scammers, because it's really easy actually to do those scams. Today we don't have matcha, but don't forget to put down your little glass of water and let's get to it. There's something really special here, because it's actually the same tokens if we check here. B5WTL, B5WTL, B5WTL. But why do we have 3 ones and then a different age, 3 days, 15 hours, 3 days, 10 hours, 3 days, 10 hours? What is happening is that those tokens are actually on different liquidity pool. This one is on Raydium, this one is on Orca, and this one is on another one. Now, let me explain you with an example in real life. I wanted to do a dating analogy, but I thought it would be a bit too mean and it was easier with gas, so we go with gas. When you buy gas, you can buy from many different stations. Some will have a little bit of a different price, but it's globally here, for example, all the same price. And then people will have different preferences. For example, Murphy have pretty bad reviews here. So we say in crypto have often some bugs, or another one only have 5 liters available. And that's where it comes from, the liquidity, how much I can trade on it. For example, the Pepe on Orca here, the liquidity is pretty low, 55K. So if you were to come to buy with 1K USD, you will already be moving the price. And same as the gas, the price can be slightly different between all those liquidity pools. This is actually something you have to keep in your mind now. So write it down, because you can use it as a little alpha later. And the good rule of thumbs will be to take the one that have the highest liquidity pool, because it's usually the token that is the official one and the right one. And because I am lucky to have amazing people subscribe to Handsome Finance, Kamdala added a quite good comment, which is to take the oldest creation date of the token. And it's usually true that the oldest creation of the token have the highest liquidity pool. Now, depending again, if you want to trade on Solana, then you will take this Pepe. That they are new Pepe, because Pepe is normally on Ethereum, it's also on Base chain. You have all the kind of Pepe you want. Before I create any confusions, when I talk about scam that I launched, it was only for educational purposes and no one lost money in it. It was to show how it works. I mean, few bots lost money, but who cares? They are bots. However, I have a lot of people in my contact, some that do smart contract audits, some that create scams. I try to make them switch to the good side, but I learn from them. And I analyze contracts myself, smart contracts. So this is how I will show you the simple way that can let you avoid all those. Just to be sure that everyone's get it, let's check for another coin that is only on Solana for this one. And again, I can see this one have the highest liquidity. This one is pretty high too, but depending, some people will prefer to trade on Raydium, or some people will prefer to trade on Meteora. That's everyone's different choice. Everyone can like what they want to like. It's not my problem. And again, I will avoid those ones because the liquidity will be too low. So it will be either this one or that one that I will trade. It's the same on base trading. If I tap, for example, Muffer, I will see some pairs that have zero liquidity or really little. This one have 9.1 million, but maybe I want to buy on Aerodrome because I prefer that one, and it's only 4.7K of liquidity. But one thing that is also super important is always to have the right contract address, because the pair can change. You see here in this link, it's not the same thing. And this is kind of like the serial number of the crypto. You can't change it. Same as on a car, they will have a serial number, but the owner can change. You can change the number plate, all those things. But one thing that will stay fixed is this. And it's the same actually if I search by the contract address, I will see all the different pair available, and each pair will have their own serial number as well, which is a coin exchanged to another one. Here they are all against Solana, but we could buy it also in USDC. If I have USDC instead of Solana, I could go with that one. However, the liquidity is a little bit low. And one of the advantages, same as you may have seen on the gas station, is sometimes you can see a little bit of a different price. So I know, for example, on base trading, if you just want to buy a coin, we will search all the best liquidity pools for you and then automatically buy where it's cheaper for the quantity you need. And then if it's a large quantity, then we will go with the other liquidity pool that might be a little bit more expensive, but have more liquidity. So like this, you get always the best price. And sometimes this price can offset all your trading fees. To sum it up, if you are normies and to make it easy for you, choose which one have the highest liquidity, the highest volume in the last 24 hours. And usually you can validate this by also the oldest pair. Now that you avoid going into the scam coins that use the name, you need to verify if that coin is legit. You will need to take the contract address. So you could read all the contract yourself, but hey, we don't have time for this. We need to go on dates sometime, right? And for that, I quite like to use the TTF bot on Telegram that will give me a good analysis about the liquidity pool, if it was burned, if there is anything dodgy in the contract, so I can get a good analysis. Two other information that I always look is like how many snipers we had in the first block and how many holders and how much is held by the top 10. Because again, you don't want a coin that is held by just a majority. Cool thing about TTF is that it works on Solana, it works on Base as well. For example, this contract, they flagged it as a honeypot. Otherwise, I can also have this information directly into basetrading.com, which will help me to trade directly in my browser instantly, and also have the take profit. But the great thing is that I can use it on different chains. I can go on Ethereum as well. I have Axis coming soon, and I'm going to be able to have everything in one place. Solana will be coming later on. But that's not the only thing that you need to know on how to find those scams. The best way is when you start to have some experience, automatically when you see a coin, you will be, that's a scam, I'm not going in. And that's where I want to lead you, is to the next level. For example, this coin, Checks, which didn't even bother to pay for Dex Screener. When you see a coin that's just keep going up like that, this is not a normal behavior. This is a scammy behavior where only one person can sell. And those people who can sell, it's only the developers. They give themselves the right to be the only one to sell. You probably not even see it because they will send just a little bit as soon as some people buy, but still it would go up and then you would wonder, but why I can't sell? It's so frustrating. I did a 10x, but I can't sell. That's why you need to protect yourself, and then they dump it. Now, even if I know how to do those scams, I do not do it because I think it's really short-term thinking on the space, and it's really stupid because a meme coin can go up to higher stuff all the time. And the thing is, every time someone lose money to a scam like that, they are not going to trade it. And I believe that we will all make more money if everyone continue to trade around. So those scammers, they obviously don't really know that they would make a lot more money if they were doing legitimate stuff, and that they hurt the space. So it's going to be harder for them tomorrow to make better scams. It's really a weird behavior, and I can't really understand that mindset behind it. Obviously, you always want to check if the liquidity is locked. So this DEX screener change a little bit all the time. Like sometimes you can see it's locked, sometimes you cannot see it's locked. This one, we know that we have a big part of the liquidity that is locked for sure. What you can do as well is to check here. You will have the pair and you can expand to see what's going on the liquidity pool. Like this one who have the liquidity pool locked, but there's actually nothing going on because they have just locked $1 maybe. And this graph is clearly a scam coin as well. You will not see coins that will just go up normally, quite straight up, and then just a little bit down, goes back up, a little bit down, and then up, down, up, down. It's a lot more humanly, like a movement. You can't really see. It's a flow. Like when it starts to push one way, it pushes back the other way, and then they don't know exactly. Let's check another one that is, for example, pretty new. This is not a scam coin, but you see that's a movement that happened. Like this coin was launched earlier. Nobody knew about it. They didn't have the information. Then Iggy tweeted about it, that's my coin. And then it skyrocketed to get all the money from the cuckoldery. Actually, it's pretty funny because someone saw it on Twitter. When you check the contract address, you have the mega cuck here. And that's a more natural movement of a meme coin, even if this one was clearly just an influencer marketing done. And that's how you see it as well. This coin is normal. We had a massive pump. Then, okay, we all take profit. It went back down. And then it's like, hey, we can launch this back up. Maybe there's a second wave of influencers. Then it would go like that. That's a normal graph. Maybe I should do actually an app where I show you every time the graph and you swipe right or you swipe left to know if it's a good entry or not into the meme coin. That could be a great thing to add up to our course on trading meme coins. By the way, actually, if you want to learn all the steps to find those meme coins and to be sure to have the right ones, I have this video where I actually show a bit of a different strategy than most people use, but that will help you to go so much further. Let me know if you have any other question on how to find those scam coins and to not fall into it. Because if you just avoid those scams, the 10x, the 100x, they are just waiting for you. And I want you to be in. It was a pleasure. And I see you into the next one. Watch this one. And don't forget one thing. Yes, you have to. Stay handsome. Ciao.